So we're going to do a painting of stormy clouds today. It will be a wet into wet. I will tilt my paper 20 to 30%. I'm using the medium Hakey brush. Colors are the raw sienna, cobalt blue, indigo. If you don't have indigo, shadow violet, or Prussian, something with a deep value range, I am going to be using the cerulean blue chromium. 100% cotton paper, either cold or rough. Your water mister. And we will want the Hakey brush to be fully saturated with water before we pick up the colors. Okay, so I'm going to use my 1-inch flat and fully saturate the paper, cutting around the mountain range shape. You can decide whether you want to pull the water towards you around the shape or push it towards the shape. For this, I'm pulling it around the shape. You won't want any puddling around the shape of the mountains. So I do usually go over at least 2 times, sometimes 3. This is a fairly small block, a small image here. And I'm watching for puddling. Down here. Okay, so it's nicely damp. I did get a little bit in the shape here, so I'm going to just dry it slightly, and this is a little damp there. Okay, so I want my Hakey brush to be fully saturated. And I'm going to start with my color, the cerulean blue chromium. I'm actually pulling paint out, fresh paint, and mixing it on the palette a little bit. I'm going to just make some curved shapes. Going to slightly dry the brush with the middle belly of the brush getting dried out. Oh, sorry. Okay, just remembered I was really going to start with the raw sienna. So I just got some raw sienna on my side of my brush. Just a really light wash of raw sienna. And I have a little puddling down here. And you want your colors to be moving. As I said before, if they're not moving, your paper's not wet enough. So I'm going to go in to my indigo, and I want to dry the brush a little bit, and I'm going to add some drama here. Just some curves here. Maybe have it run off the paper a little bit. Okay, that's good enough. And I'm letting it soak in a little bit, watching it move, looking for any puddling that might occur. And then I'm going to use my mister. Watching the puddling aspects. Now that I put more water on the paper, you'll get more of a puddling. I'm just using a paper towel. You can use a brush if you want. The only other thing I'm going to do is dry my Hakey brush out, the belly of the brush, both sides, just so it's moist. And I'm going to pick up some pure color in the tips of the brush. And before I wet it, I will pick up the puddling again. This time when I mist it, I just want to mist the darkest sections, about 3 inches away, a little bit at an angle. And I'm just going to let this keep on running. The other thing I tend to do is I pick it up, and it makes, as you know, will make the paint and the water run down even more. If you don't want it to run as much, you can run down as much. You can always tilt it sideways if you're starting to get the look that you want. And you can see that pretty much stopped it from running down as it's drying. I'm going to try to join these two elements here a little bit. With this being a smaller piece of paper, it's hard making small strokes to make it quite as dramatic as the painting that I showed you. But I think you get the feel for it. much done there. I will set it vertically and let it continue to dry, and we'll come back and see what it looks like.